According to Wikipedia in nuclear physics, fission is the splitting of an atomic nucleus into lighter nuclei and some byproducts such as free neutrons, photons, and other fragments of the nucleus. In Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, Ludwig Göransson's soundtrack seems to be the result of a musical fission, as its various themes share instrumental, aesthetic, or dramaturgical elements that function independently but also merge. And there are 4 main musical cores: science, politics, Kitty Oppenheimer, and Robert Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer's passion for nuclear physics begins with his observation and evolves in a long sequence in which it is compared to artistic creation and in which a minimalist, refined, and jubilant music is elevated to its maximum emotionality, merging science and scientist.
Star, a vast furnace burning in outer space, fire pushing outwards against...
From this point on, the music represents a goal to be reached, passionate and exciting,
Gravity starts winning it
and marks the path to the achievement, each time with more and more nerve and intensity.
Head down, everybody. Folks, head down.
1.
After the explosion, silence. The music has led and achieved its goal.
Come on!
And then the celebration. The music is not so much of the science as of those who have mastered it. And here it is, a music of passion, of emotion, and also of victory.
Policy-making position at Los Alamos. I would have done...
If the music associated with science is one of passion, emotion, and ultimately victory, this other music is the opposite. In the movie, it appears with Senator Levis Strauss, and it is he with whom it is mainly associated.
2 children. Yes, true.
I'm a great admirer of your work. I brought the charges against Robert.
Who did?
Some former staff member of the Joint Congressional Committee. He was a rabid anti-com. The Russians have a bomb. We're supposed to be years ahead of them, but... So, what were you guys doing at Los Alamos? Open discussions.
Too many compartmentalization was supposed to be the protocol.
We were in a race against the Nazis.
What about the super? Does Truman even know about it? Did we brief him on that? The President of the United States needs to know about it.
It is a music of pressure, and it is linked to the Manhattan Project.
Oppenheimer? I tried personnel. They asked if I could type.
Can you?
But above all, it is the music of Strauss and his campaign to attack Oppenheimer, which is Sibylline.
For the world. The world? What does Fuchs mean?
And it is also aggressive.
Tell you that I know J. Robert Oppenheimer, and if he could do it...
And this music is ultimately used against him to harass...
Yes. And in the weeks and years that followed, it has been put at somewhere between 50...
and destroy him.
I didn't ask you that, Doctor! And the GHC report would you...
This drink, this countertop...
For Kitty, there is a very simple theme that appears here, which immediately shows her sadness and fragility.
Someone that I feel...
She feels the same way.
Why did you marry him?
I was lost and he was kind.
She is a tormented woman, which affects her husband.
I'm ashamed to ask.
Anything.
Take Peter.
Sure.
For a while.
And although there is love between them, she lives in a state of melancholy.
Well?
As soon as the movie begins, Oppenheimer appears with a theme of a few notes.
Read into the record.
Yes, Your Honor.
We're not judges, Doctor.
It is a theme that is associated with him. It appears more than 50 times, complete or fragmented. And it marks different states of the character.
The so-called interrogator.
It's a long way to Zurich. If you get any skinnier, we're gonna lose you between the seat cushions. I'm Robbie.
This is the most important fucking thing to ever happen in the history of the world. How about that? 2 months.
Robert, you're the great improviser, but this you can't do in your head.
Experimental, theoretical, metallurgical.
Who's running theoretical?
I am.
That's what I was afraid of.
The music reflects his restlessness,
With such a weapon. But I know the Nazis can't.
as well as his determination. It is very significant, and perhaps most interesting, that for part of the movie, this theme remains stuck on 2 notes, unable to move on to the next.
Well, I'm there next week. I'll drop in to see him.
It's important you not maintain or renew any
Contacts between a person engaged on secret war work.
Sanaa, please take a seat.
Yes, sir, but I'd be cautious.
Understood. Watching is all.
You went back the next morning.
I did. I
Met Colonel Pash.
Colonel Pash, could you please read from your
Communist Party connection.
whom you had not met?
Not then, but sooner. He's had me worried all day.
This expresses the blockage and difficulty that Oppenheimer is experiencing in his project.
friend of his. I admitted to him that I'd like.
I've seen so many
I was gone by the time Oppenheimer in Europe, determining the status of the Nazi bomb project.
In the run-up to the nuclear test, the theme reaches its climax. Oppenheimer is on his way to achieving his goal.
I gotta get word to Truman by 7. Are we?
Atomic weapons, in fact, you do.
After the explosion, the theme becomes very dramatic, showing Oppenheimer's pain, confusion, and weakness in the face of the political apparatus.
Yes, not as many as turned out.
Oh, how many were killed or injured?
70,000.
And finally, rehabilitated. But it ends in an explosion, becoming the music of consequences, a music that transcends Oppenheimer himself.